Shout out, Grets. Thank you, sir, for coming. Aaron, thank you, sir, for coming. Thank you sa thumbs up. Gamitin ko lang oras ko kasi nag-study daw. Thank you for coming. Hello. Study daw ako ng growth and development of a child. Understand the principles of growth and development, intentional objectives, identify the stages of growth and development. Samahan niyo akong mag-study. Hindi siya psychology subject. Nasa healthcare program. Pero ang ano namin is, kailangan siya mayroon siyang psychology na part. Kaya, parang siya, ni-incorporate nila yung psychology with the health, yung developmental stages nila. Bisayang Canadian, thank you for coming. Mag-study ta, sir. Tabangi ko og study aning kuan developmental stages of a child. Thank you, sir, for coming. Busy pud gani kaayo ko sa trabaho o eskwela. Salamat sa pagbisita. Basahon ako sa inyo ha guys ha. Growth and development occurs from the moment of fertilization until death. The process goes from the simple to complex. A baby learns to sit before standing, to stand before walking, and to walk before running. An adolescent learns to develop an independence and dependence, from dependence to independence. Growth and development occur in certain directions, from the head to the foot. Babies learn to hold up their head before they learn to sit. After learning to sit, they learn to stand. From the center of the body outward, babies learn to control shoulder movement before they can control their movements, their hands movements. Growth and development occur. Ganda pala ito siya guys. Babasahin ko sa inyo para at least I will learn something. Okay, growth and development occur in sequence and patterns. Certain development tasks must be completed during a stage, and no stage can be skipped as each stage lay the foundation for the next stage. Children all over the world, whatever their culture or living conditions, must go through each stage of development before they can process to the next task. The rate of growing and development is uneven. It does not occur at a set pace. Okay. Dina. May gagawin lang sa isang telepono. Okay, good. Okay. Not all people fit into the development norm for its age category. The rate of development is determined by many things, including quality of stimulation, nutrition, diet, and environment. Developmental stages are more likely guidelines than rules. Infancy, from birth to 1 year. Infancy is the first year of life when rapid physical, psychological, and social growth development occur. The developmental tests of infancy are the following: learning to walk, learning to eat solid food, beginning to talk and communicate with primary caregivers, brothers and sisters, developing this stable sleep and feeding patterns. Kuhanin ko muna kayo ha, sandali lang. Kuha lang ng something. The neonatal period of infancy is the first 20 days after birth and during the first time baby is called neonate or newborn. Age of newborn is 48 to 53 centimeter. Long weight. Hello Brad, kumusta? Study daw ko Brad. Kumusta yung mga gibati din ha? Unsay balita? The newborn head is large compared with the rest of the body, and the skin is wrinkled. Arms and legs seem short compared with the trunk. The abdomen is large and round. Skin and eyes color vary depending on the baby's genetic background and may change during the first year. The newborn has a fat, pudgy cheeks, a fat nose, and receding chin. Sa balita diha, Brad, kumusta man imuhang kuan pag-quarantine? The infant's central nervous system is not well developed. Movements are uncoordinated and lack purpose. Infant can see at birth, although vision is not clear and soothed with the sun. They respond more often to female, higher pitch voices than to male, lower pitch voices. Infant react to touch, and the senses of smell and taste are well developed. Newborns have certain reflexes, involuntary movement, and responses are the central as the central nervous system develops. The motor reflex. Ay, naku, ito terminology na naman. Daming terms. Okay, let's go to terminologies again. The motor reflexes occurs when one infant is frightened or by a loud noise or sudden movement. The arms are thrown apart, the legs extended, the head is thrown back. The rooting reflex is stimulated when the infant's cheeks is touched at or near the mouth. The infant's head turned toward the touch. The rooting reflex is necessary for feeding. It helps guide the infant's mouth to the nipple. The sucking reflex is produced by touching the cheeks or the side of the lips. The grasping reflex occurs when the infant's palm is stimulated, causing the fingers to close around. 10 months infant can walk while holding in the furniture. Okay. The reflex begin to decline around the second month and disappear by the third month. Infants sleep most of the time during the first few weeks of life. They wake up when they're hungry and fall asleep right after eating. The time between feeding line lengthen as infants grow and develop. They stay awake, more asleep, and sleep less as growth and development occurs. Body movement are initially and ay, tatulugan ko. Ako ang. They stay awake more and sleep less as growth and development occurs. Body movements are initially coordinated with a purpose and generally involuntary as the central nervous system and muscular system develop. Infant develops specific voluntary and coordinated movements. Newborns cannot pull their head up. At 1 month, infant turns their head when lying on their stomach. At month, they can smile and follow the movements of object with their eyes. Okay. Oh, third month, ano ba yan? Can raise their head. In the fourth month, they are usually able to roll and sit up. In the fourth month, they may also sleep through the night by this time. The motor and rotating reflexes disappear at this stage. Infant can hold objects with both hands, put objects into their mouth, and babble when spoken to. At 5 months, infant can grasp object and play with their toes. Teeth start to appear. 6 months, infant usually have two lower front teeth and start to chew and bite finger food. They can hold a bottle of feeding and they can sit alone for a short time. At 7 months, upper teeth starts to erupt. Infant at this age respond to their names, can say dada or mama, and fear strangers. At 8 months, infant may be able to stand when something to holding on to something. They respond to the word no. Infant at this age often do not like to be dressed or have diaper change. 9-month-old infant usually grow and more upper teeth appear. At 10 months, more infant can walk while holding on furniture. I can understand number of words, can say only few, and they indicate that they want pointing the gesture. They smile when looking into the mirror. Infant may begin to take a few steps in 11 months. The age of one many start to walk and can hold a cup for drinking. 1 year old, 1 year olds know more words, can say no and shake their head for no. They try to imitate words spoken by adults around them. In this stage, infants usually play themselves with their toys and commonly called solitary play. During the first 6 months, the infant diet is mainly breast or formula milk. Solid food, strained food, and vegetables are usually added to their diet at 5 to 7 months. The doctor or nurse would advise dietary changes. Finally, chopped food are added during the ninth and 10th month, and a 1 year can eat table food. Let's go to toddlers. 1 to 3 years. Toddler is 1 to 3 years old. Physical growth during the stage of life is not rapid, or during infancy. The development stage, toddlerhood are as follows: tolerating separation from primary caregiver, gaining control of bowel and bladder function, using words to communicate with others, becoming less dependent on the primary caregiver. Okay, toddlers have to need to assert independence with their increasing ability to move about and walk, plus, anong klase? Plus their avid curiosity. Toddlers get into everything. Pasok. Sorry, okay. I mean, everyone is frozen. Hmm. We'll wait for the teacher to come. Goodbye. Tolerating separation, toddlers have the need to assert independence with their increasing ability to move about and walk, plus their avid curiosity. Toddlers get into everything. They touch, they smell. I'm sleepy. The child begins to learn that some things can be done without the help of the primary caregivers. Salamat, sir. Just waiting for the. So, Van Trenders, thank you, sis, for coming. Thank you, Sir Grits. Okay. Speech and language skills increase, speech clear, and vocabulary increases. Words are learned by imitating others. Toddlers understand more words than they use. They are capable of forming two or three word sentences. By 3 years of age, children should be able to speak in short sentences. Play ability increases. The 2-year-old play alongside with children but does not usually play with them. This is commonly called parallel play. Okay. So dito pala sa toddler ang parallel play. Parallel play. Okay. The toddler is very passive and does not Understand the concept of sharing. The word mine is often used. Okay. Parallel play is he is always playing by himself. He is not used to share. Temper tantrums and saying no are common during this stage. When disciplined, the toddler may kick and scream. The temper tantrum is the child's way of objecting to having his or her independence challenged. It can frustrate the primary caregivers. The toddler years have many such power struggles between caregiver and child and are commonly referred to as the terrible twos. Okay, toddler is the terrible twos. Another developmental task for toddlers is tolerating separation from the primary caregivers. As toddlers start to explore their environments, they tend to venture away from their primary caregivers. However, when they experience discomfort, frustration, or injury, they quickly return to their primary caregivers or cry for their attention. If the primary caregiver is consistently present whenever needed, a child learns to feel secure and to tolerate brief period of separation. Preschool, 3 years to 6 years. Age 3 years to 6 years are considered as the preschool years, early childhood. At this stage, children grow taller but gain little weight. Preschoolers are thinner, more coordinated, and more graceful than toddlers. The development tasks for the preschool years include the following: being better, being better able to communicate and understand others, performing self-care activities, learning the differences between the genders, learning to distinguish right from wrong, good and bad, learning to play with others, developing family relationship. The 3-year old are more coordinated and can walk on tiptoe, balance on one foot for a few seconds, and run, jump, and climb with ease. Personal care skills increase. They can put on their shoes, themselves, manage buttons, wash their hands, brush the teeth with help. They can feed themselves, pour from the bottle, and help set the table without breaking the dishes. Hand skills also include drawing circles and crosses. This is nice. Okay. Uh, and then we will answer the questionnaires after this one. Most 3-year-old now roughly 1,000 words, imitate new words, and talk and ask questions constantly. The favorite question repeated many times as a day is why? Um, they're going to say why, and why. Sentences are brief, usually 3 or 4 words long. 3-year-old can name body parts, family members, friends, and animals. Play is important at this stage, and 3-year-old are able to play with other children and not just beside them because they are developing and understanding that others have feelings. They are more cooperative than toddlers. With an adult's encouragement, they are able to share toys and take turns. They play simple games and can follow simple rules. They enjoy using coloring books and crayons, doing craft with children's will child save scissors and paper, doing age appropriate puzzles and participating in role playing games such as house and dress up. This 3-year-old vivid imagination and often play make believe games. Imaginary friends are common at this stage. They may be so involved with their make believe world that they sometimes confuse fantasy and reality. For example, a child may believe that a character in the picture book is real. Their developing imagination may cause some children at this age to have nightmares or daytime fears of insecurities. Some may need a nightlight by their beds. At 3 years old, 3 years children know that there are two genders and begin to identify their own gender. During role-playing games, some children will often pretend to be a woman, such as mom or princess, and others will pretend to be men, such as dad or a cowboy. This type of play in their way of exploring the gender differences seen in their families and in the world around them, such as both television and videos. The concept of time developed in 3 years old may speak in the past, present, and future. However, the word yesterday and tomorrow are still confusing. 3 years old are less fearful of strangers and then tolerate separation from primary caregivers for short periods. They are less jealous of new baby than toddlers are. They show that they want to please their primary caregivers. Let's go to 4 years old. This is 3 to 6 preschoolers. Okay, 4-year old can hop, skip, and throw and catch a ball. They can draw faces, copy a square, and try to print letters. They can bathe with some help and usually tend to their own toileting needs with help. Vocabulary increases about 1,500 words, and the 4-year old can sing simple songs, repeat four numbers, count to three, mm, and name a few colors. The child continues to talk many questions and tend to exaggerate when telling stories. Many 4-year-olds can tell long and complex stories. Their constant chatter shows that they are learning the power of words. Sometimes they may seem bossy as they use their developing some language skills to tease, tattle, or tell others, including caregivers, what to do. A 4-year-old's hand and finger coordination are well developed. They like to make craft, build their blocks, and try to write their pencil or pen. Children, let's see. Mm, mm, yeah, very good. All right, let's go back to study. All right, in the bio, a 4-year-old hand and finger coordination are well developed. They like to make crafts, build with the blocks, and try to write their with a pencil or pen. Children in this age group still enjoy playing, dress up, and imitating adults. They still have vivid imagination but are now better able to differentiate between reality and fantasy. They are more social than they were in 3 years of age and usually enjoy playing in group of two or three. They also begin to develop close friendship and may try to be like their friends or show off to impress them. At this age, many children express curiosity about sexuality. They may ask persistent questions about how babies are made and why boys and girls' genitals are different. Playing doctor and nurse is common as curiosity about sexuality continues. 4-year-old may show a strong difference of preference for the parents of the opposite gender and how they identify themselves. They show rivalries with their brothers and sisters, especially when they take their position or when the other children have more and different privileges. Let's go to 5-year-old. Topic na tayo. Ang haba pa ng chapter 18. Coordination continues to develop, and 5-year-olds can jump rope, skate, tie shoes, dress, and bathe. They can use a pencil and copy diamonds and triangles and shape. They can put prints in a few letters and numbers in their first name. Drawing of people includes the body and arms and feet. Nako, ang Eve namin, they can do this one already. Communication skills also increase vocabulary about 40,000 in sentences have 6 or 8 words. 5-year-old ask fewer questions than they did when younger, but now the questions have more meaning. They want definitions for the unknown terms and wish to make part in the conversation. They can name 4 or more colors, coins, day of the week, and month. They can identify the objects that they draw and give details description of the drawing. 5-year-old are generally responsible, truthful, and they quarrel less than when younger. There is greater awareness of rules and is eagerness to do things the right way, and they are proud of their accomplishments. They want to please others, especially teachers and caregivers. Are we starting? No, no, we're not yet. They are independent and can be trusted with a limit. 5 years old, the viewer fears, but many continues to have nightmares. Many 5-year-old enjoy simple numbers and word games. Although they may cheat to win, they like having rules and try to follow them. They imitate adults during play and show a greater interest in 5:30. They also enjoy activities with the primary caregivers of the same gender. Such activity includes cooking, housekeeping, shopping, yard, and sports. Children at this age tolerate their brothers and sisters well, although they consider younger children to be nuisance. 5-year-old usually are protective of them and enjoy playing with them. Now let's go to age 6 to 8. Oh, my teacher is here already. Anyway, preschoolers often have nursery school and kindergarten experiences. However, the middle childhood is the time school experiences begin is earnest. Children enter the world of peer groups, game, and learning. The developmental tasks of middle childhood are the following. Okay, this is middle childhood already, the 6 to 8. Developing the social and physical skills needed for playing games, learning to get along with other children of the same age and background, learning behavior and attitudes normative to one genders, learning basic reading, writing, and arithmetic skills, developing a conscience and moral, developing a good feeling of and attitude toward oneself. The age of 6. Let's go to 6-year-old. Let's see if my teacher is there. Between the sixth and the seventh
Hello.
birthday, a child will grow about
Welcome
5.
back.
I don't know, guys, if you can hear my teacher is singing. Between the sixth and the seventh birthday, the child will grow about 5 centimeters and gain 1 to 3 kilograms.
Where?
Baby teeth are lost and
Oh.
permanent teeth began to erupt.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Let me see if you can hear her.
Oh, I can't even keep up with my chat. Okay, I am having connection issues because there was nothing in the chat and now there's a whole pile of messages that were not
It's
there.
okay, guys. We'll listen
Just a second
to
ago,
her
so
together.
keep that in mind, everybody, as we go in the afternoon here. In case I'm missing your question or something in the chat. That is possible. Oh my gosh. Internet today. Is it storming in Ontario today or it's just hot? It's just heat warning, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's so, it's like a brick wall. It hits you. Like I just tried to take the dog out. He went on the deck and he just stood there and refused to move. And then he laid down and then he started panting. Okay, I guess we're just gonna hang out inside. That's fine. Oh, poor animals. I'm waiting for my attendants here to upload, sorry.
Yeah, it's very warm here. Even when I first woke up, I was feeling a lot of pressure here in my chest.
Oh.
And I'm going,
Our
Then
class will
always
begin
turn on the
in
weather
2
in the morning, right?
minutes.
CP24, and it's like,
So from this time
40
on, you can hear my
degrees.
teachers speaking
that's
and
why-
my
38 today for us. That's
classmates
a
talking.
lot up here.
so same as here, man.
That's a lot for us.
It is hard for the animals, for sure.
Yeah, because they can't sweat. When we think about, here we go with the segue. I can't help myself, can I? Our clients,
Oh, absolutely.
so if I have any issues with my body or my neurological system that are making it hard to manage my body temperature, or I'm seeing extremes, like that management temperature, if that's not,
Well, you can imagine how it is for them, right?
that population is going to be just as affected by that heat, by that heavy humidity. And then also, like people with cardiovascular and respiratory issues.
Well, I have asthma.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly that heaviness to the
Exactly how it felt this morning.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah, I took
difficult.
very deep breaths. I did it like a couple of times, 4 times at a time, 4 times at a moment, and then it's like I feel a little better, but it took a couple hours.
Yeah,
It took a couple hours.
it's not a great feeling. So then even I'll add on to it, what if my client has cognitive impairments? So then they don't understand why they're feeling icky and why it, and how does that manifest too, right?
Mhm.
Being uncomfortable.
Probably in
feelings.
their own home is usually that. But if you're from what I hear, in long-term care, they don't have air conditioning.
They have air conditioners. Some of them, like really old buildings, might only have air conditioning in like the lunchrooms, like main areas. Buildings don't have any. So that's one of the political things that people
I
are
know.
try to get funding mandate at least to have common areas where we can drive and then you can like cool down and then we can
And manage to get through the day somehow. Yeah.
exactly, even if it's not perfect, is there a way that we can rotate people through a more manageable temperature so that they can cool themselves? Working on the attendance here, everybody. I'm clicking as I go here. If I got there's see. Yeah. Oh. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? We got Veronica. Victoria, thank you. Okay, what's on my list? Tracy, Sinette, Charles. Y'all back?
Alex is not here.
Hi. Thank you. Perfect. Thanks, Sinette. I don't remember. Oh, it was Tracy who I mentioned. I'm sure that she'll be here momentarily. Where is that? Click. Click. Click, click, click. Go. All right.
Alright, makinig muna tayo sa teacher natin. Kasi wala tayong activity sa ating YT.
There's going to be a big sneeze that happens soon. It's imminent. I feel it brewing in there, in the back of my nostrils. Okie dokie. So this afternoon's plan is to introduce the next module largely, and to really discuss, to go over the assignment, that the group assignment that will be done over the next few days, the next module as well, okay? Then what I will do is let us finish with independent study time, so that you, and I'm going to tell you which chapter of the reading I want you to start with, so we can make sure that we're most prepared for moving into group work for the assignment. So when we have the group independent study time this afternoon, I will encourage you to meet with your group, say hello, do that kind of check-in stuff, and then either study as small groups or to break apart and do some independent studying. But I'm going to kind of give you a tip of where I think is a good place to start with the readings. Okay. Both the test and the group presentations, that's okay, Asmara. We're just starting to talk. The afternoon plan is to just kind of go over what is upcoming for the next section, the next module, and review tips for getting started, and we're going to review the components of the group assignment so that we can start that early. You can start to assign each other the readings, so that then you can come back and you can delegate sections to each other so that you can work on it and then come back together and just put it all together for the group. Hopefully that'll work out. So our anticipated theory test and presentations will be Wednesday of next week.
Not Wednesday.
Wednesday the 25th. Okay. So for our time management piece, thinking about that, keeping that in mind. Of course, I will be giving us time to work in groups so that we don't have to have all meetings outside of class. But there's probably going to be some need for you guys to convene a little bit, just like in previous ones, okay? Before I start yabber-yabbering about what's upcoming, I went ahead and I created the team shells, because we were talking about it earlier this morning. I went ahead and I created all the team shells, and I populated the entire calendar with day 1, day 2, day 3, and all of that kind of stuff. So you probably have numerous stupid email notifications that I added you to Teams. I created a meeting. I did all of that kind of stuff. I literally did it for the rest of our semester. I try. Oh yeah, so many emails. Yeah, I know. I always leave it to the last minute. I always leave it to the last minute. But I preloaded it. So tomorrow we'll be meeting in the health conditions with Ali Shell. That's our next module that we're doing. Oh no, did I screw this up? Oh, thank goodness, we're not doing health conditions. That's not the next module. Oh my God, after all that work, right? And then I realized that I screwed up. Didn't screw it up. We're doing assisting with family growth and development. Family, that's the one. So the next shell is the assisting with family growth and development. And then I preloaded the teams in there. And I'm seeing Caitlin's comment. Let me see. It doesn't, wouldn't surprise me if I screwed something up. We all were. Okay, I lost that. Where's my view? Where's my paperwork? It's okay, don't remember where I put anything. Amazing. I think I just missed you. Caitlin, I have you in middle childhood. So under general, in assisting with family shell, under the general, and hoping that you see a 4 middle childhood under yours. Carrera preschool, I'm assuming that's right. Yeah, looks like it. I see you here, because you're on my list in assisting with family. That's super odd.
How big are the groups, Jer? How big are the groups? 3 or 4 people or more?
3 people, or I think a couple of them have 4. There's 6 groups in total.
Okay.
In total. That's my view. So I'm totally sharing. There's nothing on here. I know there's nothing on it. So that's what I see in it. So Caitlin, if you still don't have, before we break out into independent study, I'll remove you or something and then re-add you or something like that. I'll figure out how to bring you or in or out. But I'm seeing you in there right now. Double check or refresh, and then I'll delete you from the group and then re-add you or something to refresh it. Okay. Where am I at? Also, I've been having issues with Teams. I keep running an update, but it's like it keeps giving me it wants to, if you change the time on a meeting or something, you hit update, it should happen pretty quickly. Mine is sitting there waiting. So I'm gonna be trying an actual hard reset of my entire Microsoft Teams. I'm going to log out after class today. I'm then logging out of everything and then actually doing a full restart of my computer. I'm not sure. So it could be on my end as well. So we'll sort it. You are in middle child. At least. You're in middle childhood. So we'll get you put back in there. Okay. Where's my list here now? Let's just keep losing everything. So this module that we're going into for tomorrow, like I mentioned, is the family module. It is really heavy in the stages of development. Okay, as you can see from my image, obviously the groups are developmental stages. So I'm sure that if you haven't looked to the upcoming assignment in the Brightspace, I'm sure that you're going to get an idea about where we're going with this assignment topic. So we're largely covering growth and development. And so I'm going to do more of the lecturing for the older adults, and we're going to let you all bring some of that younger age groups back to the class. Okay? We're going to talk a little bit about some of the disorders and stuff that go along with some of those developmental ages and that kind of thing. With regard to the readings, we've seen, that the test and the group presentations. It's okay. I don't need a brain. They should be, they should both be on Wednesday next week. Actually, in fact, the test will be in the morning, and the presentations will be in the afternoon. And from how it's been going, they'll probably take us the majority of the afternoon. You guys do such good work, rich work. So I'm anticipating that that's pretty much going to be our Wednesday next week. It's tests and presentations. Okay. Yeah, Veronica.
Do we need to place the assignment on the submit assignment before that Wednesday 25?
You'll be submitting your written work to me at like the lunchtime before we do the group presentations.
Okay. Thank you.
So there will be in that lunch hour between the test and presentations, there will be emergency emergency time, check in and stuff. There will be that availability because there's going to be the lunch hour.
Can you do it before? So you're gonna open before the day?
Yeah, I'll open the Dropbox before, but I'm just saying.
No, I
that,
understand. The time limit is until noon, let's say.
Yeah. Or until we start, until attendance.
Yeah.
But yeah, from before, that's fine too. Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem, Asmara. Like I said, I have everybody in there. So once we go off into independent study time this afternoon, stay with me and I'll individually delete and add people back to help them find their place. Okay. Keep track if you don't see. But I will remind everyone, it's not the shell that we're currently in. It's the family ones. So it's in a different team. If you were looking in this cognitive, there's no groups in the cognitive. You have to go into the family one. Okay. So as I was mentioning, some of the chapters that we're going to be assigned in this module for family support, assisting with family. Few of you are noting Davidson's comment as well. I will pray for you, Davidson, that your dementia does not enter stage 3. Davidson, as long as you're hallucinating about Mosby's, we're good to go. You can review and study. We have stage 1 already. It's done. It's over. It's over, right? Sounds like you brought the test. Yeah, from personal experience, right? Lived through all of the stages. Oh, you guys are so. Thank you for making me laugh so hard. My cheeks hurt at that one. Oh my gosh. Kill me. That's so funny. You guys kill me. I can't. Okay, so what I was saying was that you're going to notice when you look into the readings as we go through the assigned readings for this next module for family, you've seen them before. Some of them. I already read that chapter. Reread it. Revisit the chapter. You've learned so much in between the last time you saw the chapter and now. Right? Your knowledge has changed. Your understanding, right? You've developed critical thinking skills that you didn't have before. You've developed study habits that you didn't have before. So it's not likely going to be relearning, but just that revisiting. Okay? Well, we've done like little tidbits out of some of these chapters, right? Out of when we looked at Maslow's, for instance, we looked at, even this last module where it sent us back to the what was it, 37 or something like that, where it was, you know what I mean? We just had to do the neurological piece this time, and it, so some of the stuff we might have seen before, all I'm saying is that if you've read it, because I know some people have read more than what was assigned as well. If you've read it and you say like, oh, I read this 3 weeks ago. I didn't say any chapters specifically. I just said that if you notice, if you've already done the reading in the chapter, don't put it aside saying like, oh, I looked at this, 3 modules ago, I looked at this information. Refresh the information. That's all I'm saying, because everyone like in the class is developing that critical thinking. You know more, you understand more about assessment, that what you're looking for, the PSW perspective, you have that. So it might change how you interpret, right, that information, or how it changes in your plan, or how you think about that thing differently. It might make more sense now that you have more, even like, you've gained all of this knowledge. So things might make more sense as well. Okay. So for readings to start with, in the day 1, assisting with family, growth, and development. If I'm in that Brightspace shell, okay, I will see under getting started, like usual, we have our syllabus. Okay. Course learning objectives. Okay, we're going to learn more about growth and development. We're going to understand how to assist clients for caring for dependent individuals. Hopefully, we're going to hopefully learn how to assist clients across their lifespan with routine ADLs. Assisting clients who are caring for dependent individuals in keeping with the care and service plan and the needs of the clients and their families. Excuse me. In the course syllabus, it identifies for us the textbook that's required. That's what we've got. Software says that we should be using the PowerPoints and the videos from Evolve. Okay, we know we have access to those. And then it lists the websites that you can use for this module to help supplement your learning, to help help you find the answers that you're going to need. There's going to be information in a variety of these websites, okay? So for this module, the exam is going to be worth the 50%, which is pretty typical, as a lot of what we've seen. The professional performance mark is 10%. Again, easy to get a perfect mark there. Right. Relax. Relax. If you can't find your group this second, we'll sort it out in a little bit, okay? Your group will be in the assisting with family shell underneath the general, okay? And then the group assignment is worth 40% of your mark. 40%. So it's a nice big chunk there to help with marks. Again, like usual, 70% is the pass mark. What else is on here? Policies and procedures. So the usual academic integrity. I'm going to remind the whole class again, I am not looking for you to copy using your mouse to copy and then paste Control P or whatever, Control V to paste that answer. I understand that your own words, it's going to look very similar, but it shouldn't be copy paste. Okay, so try your best to put it in your own words. And if you struggle with that, think about if you just read that paragraph and you wanted to tell your friend. Write your answer as if you're telling your friend. That, I think, would maybe help if you're struggling with what does that mean? How do I use my own words? As if you got the information, but then without looking at that paperwork. Could you retell it?
God,
That would
there
be
is
in your own
urinary
words.
system, kidney
Okay.
function disease,
So that will
kidney
help you to rewrite it.
atrophy, blood flow for the kidney is reduced, ureters, urethra, loose stool,
Tomorrow
elasticity,
is our
bladder
day
muscle weakens.
Okay, so tomorrow is day 1. So when you look at your calendar or you're logging in to see where we are, we're going to be in the Assisting with Families team, and we're going to be on day 1 tomorrow. Okay, so 9 a.m. tomorrow we'll be in that classroom under day 1. And I will endeavor to lecture tomorrow. Group time, we'll have some independent study time and some group work time. And I want to take up workbook answers as well for some of the readings. So hopefully we'll be able to go through that. Tomorrow I'll also be introducing Erikson's theories of psychosocial development as well. Okay, so my suggestion for the readings, which are here, I hate how does that have a ring delete that. We have 18, 19, and 21 on deck. Okay, paste and copy.
18, 21,
We have
good.
chapter 18, 19, and 21. I'm looking out of the syllabus, tomorrow's syllabus, the family syllabus. So I'm going to recommend that you start with 18. Okay?
I'm starting
The
with
reason
18.
why I'm recommending that you actually start with 18, and then I'm going to tell you the next thing.
All right.
In day 1, which I've opened up completely, there's a handout. It says Handout, Growth and Development Chart. I highly recommend that you start working on this as you're reading chapter 18. If you have at least loosely filled out some of that information in that handout, it is going to help you with your group work because you're going to have already read some of the material and organized it a little bit for yourselves. So then you're going to have a diving board. You can start. You can
Klase pa
prepare.
ko, Brad.
Does that make sense?
Low trenders, thank you.
Yes.
Iduka.
So again, that was in the
Duka na kayo.
day 1 growth and development
Napay klase.
part, but it's a handout. It's
Like
one of
the
those
paper
knack
picture.
handouts. It's got lots of information in it.
Nag-test me ganina
And it's
about sa
got
wow, the
An
test is
actual
really
growth and development
crazy.
chart in it.
Ang test ng
Infancy,
ganina is
toddler, preschool,
wala na siya.
preschool, middle childhood, middle childhood,
psychiatric disorder,
late-
mental
late
health,
breaking them
mental
down.
illness, mental
You'll notice
disorder,
that
conversion disorder,
it
panic,
looks a lot like the
stressor,
chapter
mania,
18
oh my
breakdowns.
God. Schizophrenia,
they look like your
antisocial behavior.
Hence my suggestion to
My.
start with 18 and the
Mga
development chart
paranoia.
handout,
That's crazy.
and let that be the starting point. So tomorrow,
Can
when
we
I
go?
have group work for you, you can actually start the group. You can start to talk about the findings because you'll already have started understanding these differences. I know that we're not going to get through all of this kind of tonight. Not everyone's going to get through everything, but that's my recommendation. Start with 18 and that handout in the day 1 content. If you start peeking at that reading tonight, and then in tomorrow you start to take advantage of that time to start filling it out, I honestly believe it's going to help make the group work easier for you, right? Because if everyone has filled out the chart, everyone will be starting kind of with the same knowledge. You're going to have that idea about what your assigned age group is already. I'm hoping we can get to it. I hope there will be enough time, and I'm hoping everybody gets it done by end of day tomorrow. It is my goal to take up 18 tomorrow if we can. You heard her, team adolescents. Let's get it. Okay, hold on. Don't run away just yet. I want to go over the assignment, and then we can break out. I know you guys want time to study really bad. I hear you. I hear you. Hear you loud and clear. Okay, under day 1 of the Assisting with Family module. Cool. No problem, Tracy. Thank you for joining us. Even though you're not that late. You're only 30 minutes late. Thank God you saved the dog. Okay. Hopefully you at least can cancel your bank card. If not, find it. At least. Davidson needs time to grow and develop. I think, Davidson, you already said you're in late stage dementia and pre-onset Alzheimer's here. So I think we need some reversal in the aging process for you. We don't want you to age and develop and grow anymore. So please, back pedal. Okay. So Tracy, I realize we're not covering content. I was just been introducing the modules to come. I'm going through the requirements, what's to be done, in the upcoming module. I'm about to go over the group work expectations. We're going to go into independent study time, and I'll be happy to review some of the tips that I gave before you leave for independent study, but once the rest of the class. Okay, so anybody else wants me to review another time. And I know I have a few people who I got to fix their groups. So there's a few things to do. Okay. So under day 1, assisting with family growth and development, we've got assignment instructions for group assignment. That's located there. Okay. And the assignment instructions, okay, clearly state, remember, you need to have this open because you got a check mark, right? You got to check mark as you go. So as you can see on the assignment instructions, under materials and resources, do you want to save this? No. Under the materials and resources, it indicates our textbook. It indicates the PowerPoints. There might be videos in Mosby's. I don't know if there's actually videos that go, but this one has websites that are associated with this content. Children, Human Rights, the Canadian Coalition for the Rights of Children, Informed Consent in Adults with Developmental Disabilities, Council of Canadians with Disabilities, and Consent Forms for Children from the Canadian government. So you should go and look at those websites. You could do them as a group, in your small groups. You could totally do a share screen and explore together and discuss. But look and see if there's any relevant information related to your assigned group that you might be able to use from those websites. So they're giving you a hint that you might find information on these websites, okay? Assignment description. What's the point of this assignment? You're going to learn and understand the growth and development across ages, particularly of children. So the focus here is largely children, growth and development as children are growing. And as I mentioned, I'm going to cover some of that older adult side of it, okay? You're going to explore this concept and this information by creating a toy or key reading, a toy or activity or game. Or, not toy and activity and game and create. So we're going to pick one item and we're going to create something, okay, for the age group that we've been assigned. So the learning and development information is very important because you're not going to give a baby that's 6 months old a Sudoku, right? Like that doesn't match, right? They can't do. They can't do that kind of abstract math.
Infant bowling ball.
You see where this is going? The point of this is we're telling you about what kind of person is in this stage, and you need to use your critical thinking to figure out how you can connect at that stage, right? You're putting the pieces together. So you'll be creating a toy or activity or a game for a specific age group. Time out. This was a huge project in nursing school. It's a third year project. It's a lot bigger than this. Like it's expanded, but the premise of this is an actual activity that we do with the university registered nursing students. Like for real. Yeah. Like many moons ago, I pulled a particular age group and I did germs and hand washing, of course, because I created a germs activity for kindergartners. Because there was so much more in that project. We actually had to go to teach kids and do all kinds of stuff and like in our perspective like stuff. So you don't have to do that part. You don't have to actually implement and do the teaching and learning and evaluate and all that kind of stuff. But just for all of you who are like, this seems like really stupid. Well, we make the RNs do it too. Everybody does this type of assignment. So everybody has this kind of knowledge. But what are we doing, right? We're thinking about that people learn differently in their different stages, right? Their needs are different. Okay. How old are your kids, Davidson? Are they in the adolescent age group? I have high expectations. Oh, that's so funny. It's also an activity in the ECE program. See? So there's obviously, thank you, Belen, for sharing, because what all that says to me, my spidey senses, says that conceptually here, this is important conceptually because we're teaching it to everybody in all of these kind of healthcare roles. Where am I next? Description. You will consider the developmental milestones across the ages, right? So we're actually, like I just said, right? You don't pick Sudoku for a 2-year-old. It's the wrong, level of learning. Okay, so assignment steps. Students will work within small groups to complete the assignment. Yep. Sorry, not sorry. Students will create an appropriate activity, game, or toy for a specific age group. They will describe the colors plural, like, are you choosing bright colors for a particular reason? Because something said bright colors are good for some age group? See what I'm saying? So I say, we chose this because this age group, we made this choice because we know this is happening in the stage of development. This is what's happening. So I'm getting that back up. I'm backing up the decisions from the reading, from the text. That makes sense to everybody? We're okay with that? Like you're backing it up? Okay. So you'll describe the color. Did you make texture choices for a particular reason? Are there sounds associated with it? What kind? Why? Right? So you're seeing that it's not just we chose blue. That's not the answer. Why did you choose that blue? Okay, I'm looking to see the critical thinking. Okay? What material your creation is made from. Okay? If your age group puts everything in their mouth, metal might not be the right materials. Follow? If there isn't a concern at that developmental level, then you won't have that concern. Okay? Number 2, students will also describe the the developmental appropriateness of their creation. Like I said, did you pick a Sudoku book for kindergarten? Explaining the developmental appropriateness. If the age group cannot read yet, probably shouldn't be a novel, right? Right? What does the creation offer? So is it stimulating cognitive stimulation? Is it stimulating touch? I don't know, right? Because it doesn't exist yet, these projects. I'm just spitballing ideas, right? I'm just relating what the instructions are saying. What does the creation offer to my specific age group, right? So if I have an age group that wants to, that needs to develop vision, I don't know, you're helping them to develop their vision, I don't know, but it's going to relate, okay? And that sentence continues, how does it meet the developmental task of the age group identified, right? So now you're seeing why I'm recommending that we start with chapter 18 and we start with the handout. Start putting information on that handout. So when you come and sit as a group, you have that information at hand and you're talking about these assignment steps and you say, oh yeah, you know what? Write page numbers to reference yourself back to your age group when you're going through that section. So it makes your group work smarter in the group too, right? If you come in, just like you invest in the reading makes my job easier. I don't have to lecture nearly as much. It makes the time that much faster. The same thing's going to happen with your group work, right? Get in, get some of that reading, get prepared, so that then when you sit with your group and you go line by line through this assignment sheet, you can write, yes, this makes sense. I already read about those things. I already started to read about those things. It's going to trigger your memory, okay? Number 3. Students will also include the cost to create their product and the price of the creation that they would sell it for. Okay. They also need to report if it's something that consumers would purchase or if it's something that consumers would use as an activity for a particular age group. Okay. Again, I'm not looking for an answer that says purchase. Period. Can you explain more than one word for me, right? So here's another example. Does it meet the developmental task of the age group identified? If you just write yes, I'm not giving you marks. You need to assume I don't know anything about the age group. You need to tell me why it meets the milestone. Because they are learning to depend on others. Because this age group is learning how to study. So we're creating whatever the thing is, whatever you're going to create needs to relate to the group that you are working with.
I'm so
On
sleepy.
page 311, for those of you who are still confused at what I'm saying, late childhood, from 9 to 12 years, one of the tasks that they do is learning how to study. So if you have infancy, why did you pick the thing and you're in the infant group and you write, we chose it because they're learning how to study? That shows me there's a disconnect. We're not in the infant section. Okay? I don't want an answer that just says yes. You need to say, this is appropriate for this group because you're showing why what you chose relates to the group. Does that make sense? I see lots of confused faces on my video screen, so I just want to make sure that it's not me. That's not the assignment. And I had seen Charmaine, your hand went up and down. Did you want to comment?
I was just asking about the toy, the activity, and the other. What's the other one? Toy, activity, or
Toy, activity, or game.
so we have to create that ourselves, or we can just take one from the shelf that is already there.
You need to create something yourself.
And name it. Or
Yeah, you give it a name. I'm not marking you on the quality of the name. Your marks are coming from the assignment steps and direction, like what it's asking you to do. So if you like, now maybe they're gonna do that. I don't want to give. Caitlin refreshed. Okay, and her group did appear. It could, like I said, it could be my end, that my side, I did it on my side, but it didn't refresh into yours. That's also possible. So just to go back to it, I want to. What's something? I got to make one that I didn't assign. Okay, let's. Late adulthood. No one got that one. I didn't assign that. So let's see. Please give me tasks on here. Developmental tasks. I'm on page 316. Developmental tasks of this stage are as follows: adjusting to decreased physical strength and loss of health, adjusting to retirement and reduced income, coping with the death of one's partner, and developing new friends and relationships, preparing for one's own death. So if I say to my group, looking here, the tasks of late adulthood, I see coping with death, preparing for one's own death. Would you like to make a stages of grief information, right? Like toy activity game? Can I make some kind of learning activity about grief for this group? So our activity about the stages of grief is appropriate for this group because 3 of their major tasks revolve around death and dying, for instance. Does that help a little bit? Created some kind of learning activity, for instance. If you have infant, it shouldn't involve reading, right? It shouldn't involve mathematics. None of those things fit with the tasks, the developmental tasks. So you're creating something, anything, for that developmental stage. Hopefully that helped. I hate when I add more confusion. I'm so good at that. You can give me a prize. Allison opened her mouth and then double confused me. You're welcome. Hopefully that was a little bit more clear for the group. Because you're still going it on. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. Number 4, each group will write a short paper. So there is a written piece to go along to be submitted. There's an actual written piece. Okay? Introducing your creation, and you'll present to the class. The assignment will be marked out of 40 and will be worth 40% of your course grade. Literally every check mark I give you is worth a point in your total grade in this module. So make sure that they're in there. And make sure that you're giving me as much meat as possible. That's why I said don't just write a yes, no. Right? I don't know. You have to assume I don't have the answers. So I need to see that come out in the document. Okay. So day 4, submit it to the submission folder. General directions, group assignment. In a group, you'll create an appropriate activity, game, or toy for a specific age group. You've already been delegated and you're in small teams. I really highly recommend that you invite me to chat with you all tomorrow once you're meeting with your groups and stuff, so that I can make sure that you're on the right track, so that you haven't done 10 hours worth of work and then you need to refocus or something. So I really encourage you to invite me tomorrow to our small group sessions, just to have a little check-in, okay? Your group will write a short paper introducing your creation and you'll present it to the class. There are a total of 40 marks for the assignment. Presentation will count for 40% of the final mark. The presentation and written requirements for this project are as follows. Again, that's all right on the instructions. And I encourage everyone to review this on their own before they meet with their groups. so that you are aware of what the expectations are. But the point here is that you're going to identify and describe the activity, game, or toy, or whatever the thing is that you create, and the age group it was developed for, including color, texture, sounds, materials. It's going to be looked at for developmental appropriateness. Like I said, no Sudoku for the baby. And I'm not good at Sudokus. My brain doesn't work that way. Developmental appropriateness. What does your creation offer? And how does it meet the developmental task of the age group identified? How does it meet the developmental task? So see where I'm looking for this critical thinking, right? We're going to put some concepts together and then we're going to think about it. The conclusion. Students will also include the cost to create their product and the price that they would sell it for. They also need to report if it's something that consumers would purchase, or is it something that they would use as an activity? Like it's not like you create a game, I don't know. It's not for purchase, it's just an activity. And that you don't need a specific thing for it. Okay?
For pricing, should we include the price of register the product and
No, I don't want the class to waste time learning about copyright my product in Canada and this kind of thing. Generic, look at if you made a toy, maybe you go to Toys R Us website or something to see what else they kind of rate that they cost. So you know that, oh, well, they only sell for $10, so maybe I shouldn't make it out of gold. This wouldn't work, and gold's not good. Solid gold isn't good for my infant, so solid gold, what's that thing, soother, I don't know what the correct name is for that. The thing that the baby suck on, the nipple?
Pacifier.
Plastic nipple?
Pacifier.
Pacifier, there you go. A golden pacifier is not going to meet your tasks, nor will it meet an appropriate cost either, right? No new parent is going to spend $500 on a gold pacifier. Okay, maybe to put it on the counter or something like that, but I want the focus needs to be on that developmental piece, so the appropriateness. But of course, there is that conclusion section is worth 10 marks. So you do need to think about it. You do have to think about it, but I'm not looking for actually bringing a product to market. That is a course in product creation, supply chain management, stuff that we don't do. But like I said, it is worth 10 marks. You do need to consider it, but really I think it's coming down to you're choosing soft plastics and silicones, right? Or are you choosing hard? Can you choose a metal? Is it just paper? Is low cost because it's you can make it digital format? I don't know. Just thinking about that. Like I said, though, there is the conclusion section that is 10 marks, so it shouldn't just be one line with one little thing in it. So I need you to talk a little bit about it to get those marks. But yeah, please don't spend time doing research, full research on some piece of product. It has to be in French and English in Canada. It has to go through this test. I don't care. I don't care enough. You can say it's multilingual if it's appropriate for not even. Are you making it multilingual? Why? And how does it relate to the task? The age group and tasks. So see, I can have hands off. You guys can really make those decisions as long as it relates to your assigned age group. Like I said, okay. The evaluation breakdown is there on that sheet as well. Good, we're at 2:00, so we're in good shape here to segue. There's my little snip tool again. So there's that evaluation breakdown right off of the Brightspace. That description paragraph is going to, or paragraphs, a description chunk will be worth 10 marks. That developmental information and appropriateness, I can give you up to 10 marks for it. The conclusion, 10 marks. Presentation in the written work, worth 10 marks. Okay? So this last one, there's no reason why anybody doesn't get 10 out of 10 in the last one. Right? Should be an easy 10 marks. Should be an easy 10 marks. But it just means that you have to actually pay attention to it to make sure that you put in a nice looking report that's not messy, that it's all in one document, just that kind of thing, right? And then it's easy. That's, boom, Bob's your uncle. Free marks, in my opinion, free marks. Okay. Oh, is that everything I wanted to do for today? Let me just check, where's my note page? You guys have any questions for me right now at this moment? To come, yes, I know there's gonna be questions tomorrow, for sure. Okay. PDF, what do you mean PDF? You want to save your work as a PDF once you're done it? Or whatever. Wait. Actually, great question. Wait 1 second. Because some things I have to download to my computer, other things I can mark in Brightspace. Let me see if PDF I can mark in Brightspace, because if not, then I want it in Word. The less I have to download directly to my computer, the better, right? I keep it in less copies of things, less versions. So let me just check here. It makes it a smaller file size when you do PDF, when you save as PDF, I believe, smaller file than the Word document. Let's see. Yeah, I can read if it's saved in PDF. I can read it in the Brightspace, so it's fine. I don't care either way. I'm just double checking Word. Yeah, okay, I can read both. Both I can read in Brightspace. So as long as it's a Word doc or it's yeah, PDF, they're fine, whatever. It's all good. I'm fine either way. Okay. Okay, so we'll take independent study for the rest of the class time. So until 3:30. I'll write it all out into the chat. Independent study. I'm putting and group work. Please feel free to go into your groups, right? Reintroduce yourself, you know, like that's fine. Say hello, that kind of thing. Independent study and group work until 15:30. Okay. Okay. Oh, well, just with Asmara, if Asmara, when you click on your little group and it brings you to like this new little, right, little general, and you can like type a message to your group member, up in the top right hand corner somewhere, there's a little eye with the circle around it. You click on that, that gets information about the little group. It'll show you the members that are in it, if you can find that little eye. So if you're in the general and you click I, it'll show our whole class. But if you're in your little group and you click I, it'll show just the members as well. I'm in every group, of course, because I named them. I can't leave. So independent study and group work until 15:30. We have readings are reading. So I want you to read the syllabus and the assignment. Even though I just read them, you need to read the assignment instructions with your eyeballs. That's important. Instructions, and then we have read chapter 18, 19, 21, and start workbook 18, and you can start filling out the day one handout. What was it called again? Sugar. Content, day one handout, growth and development chart. Okay, so I put here we're gonna break now into independent study and group work until 3:30. The reading is definitely syllabus and the assignment instructions. And then technically the readings are going to be 18, 19, and 21. But as I mentioned, my preference for your focus is to be in 18, workbook 18, and the handout growth and development chart handout from day one, because they are like, they're in the same bed together. So it's for that, to keep us on track. And then tomorrow we will have group work time to meet with your groups. So this way, if you start with that 18 in that handout, then everyone will be hopefully near the same level of knowledge when we go into group work tomorrow. So everyone's prepared at the same level. That's my goal. Okay. Okay. Independent study, I'll see you all tomorrow, 9 a.m. in the family planning shell. I'm going to be here to help with the teams, missing teams, deleting you, re-adding you, doing that kind of stuff, and meeting and answering questions and reviewing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm here. Shoot me a message because I might be in another video chat or something like that, and I will endeavor to get back to everybody and see anyone who needs a hand. If you, Tracy, if you got the gist of what's going on and you just want to go do your independent study, like, that's cool. I'm good. Okay. I think the only thing really that we weren't here for was I reminded everybody about, I really don't want copy paste. Try to be writing things into your own words. That was really just to start us down that pathway away from plagiarism. Again, not directed at you. That was a global statement for the whole class, so of course. All right. Perfect. Yeah. See you tomorrow, Abe. Enjoy your time. Like I said, I really do recommend touch base with your groups, though. Okay. And like I said, I'll be trying to get everybody in and out as we go on here. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Ali. And everyone.
Did we go to break?
I'm responding to your email right now. Yes, yes, my dear.
My neighbor just printed for me
Oh,
the assignment and the handout. So she was.
oh my
I'm
God.
sorry.
Caitlin, I'm gonna
It's just easier.
the note from the chat into my response email to you here, okay?
Okay.
I just realized I think it's better to connect with you by the email, isn't it, than in the private chat? Yeah? Yeah. I can change
I
all
got the break space open. I just printed out the new assignment and the handouts.
that's perfect. You know what, just because I know to do that route, I will make sure that I go to email before I send you messages in the chat. That's easy for me to do. Okay?
Okay, do I need to read it now?
I didn't send it yet. I'm supposed to send it, and I'm just copy and pasting the like that we're independent study until 15:30 and the read
Okay.
stuff. So
Okay.
okay, just watch soon. Probably in the next couple minutes, I'll finish the email here and I'll send it off. Okay, thanks, Linda.
My God, what I'm eating is spicy. My God, why can't I can open the book? Hmm. adolescence needs to become independent adults, especially their parents, they must learn to function, make decisions, and act in a responsible manner without adult supervision. Many teenagers work toward developing this independence by looking for a part-time job, babysitting, going to dances and party, dating, taking part in school clubs, organization, shopping without an adult, and staying home alone. Adolescents become increasingly able to use logic and reasoning, and they often form passionate opinions on many issues. However, their judgment and reasoning are not always sound. Guidance, discipline, and emotional and financial support from their parents as they are needed. Disagreements with parents are common, especially about behavior and restrictions and limits. Adolescents would rather be with their peers than do things with their parents and other family members. Similarly, they tend to confide and seek advice from peers or from adults other than their parents. Teenagers' interest in activities reflects the need to become independent and to develop intimate relationships. All genders are often interested in parties, dances, and other social activities. Clothing, makeup, and hairstyle are often important to teenagers of all genders because their appearance enable them to define their identity and fit in with a group. Parents and teenagers are often disagree about clothing and hairstyles. Teenagers may spend a lot of time with friends or converse with them through email, text messages, or social media, or on the phone. They also spend time participating in sports or in club activities, listening to music, or playing video games. During dating begins during adolescence, although the age of its onset varies from individual to individual. This is usually a dating pattern. Crowd dates are common in grades 7 and 8. They are usually related with group activities such as dances and basketball games. The same group of girls just happen to be with the same group of boys during the social events. In grade 9, pairing off between people who are attracted to each other is common during dating. In grade 10, couples go to social events together and then join other couples. Double dating occurs in grade 11. In grade 12, dates usually involve only one couple, although there is some double dating occasionally. Oh my God. Welcome in Asos Vlog. Hello po. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Nag-study lang po ako. Salamat sir sa pagpunta. Thank you. Kumusta po? Difficult decisions and conflict resolve as the adolescent matures physically, psychologically, and emotionally. Parents and teenagers often disagree about dating because parents worry that dating can lead to sexual activities, pregnancies, and sexually transmitted disease infections. Teenagers usually do not understand or appreciate these concerns. Going steady helps the teenager meet the needs for security, love, and belonging, self-esteem, and for some gender identification and exploration. Teenagers sometimes have difficulty controlling sexual urges and considering the consequences of sexual activity. Adolescents begin to think about careers and what to do after high school graduation. Skills and talents are some of the factors that influence the choice of either education or a job. Adolescents also need to develop moral values and attitude for living in society. They need to develop a sense about what is good and bad, right and wrong, and important and unimportant. Parents, peers, culture, religion, television, schools, and movie are some of the factors that influence teenagers. During abuse, unwanted pregnancy, alcoholism, drug abuse, unwanted pregnancy, Alcoholism and criminal acts are common problems among troubled adolescents. So this is the worst problem of parents. Okay, tayo. Let's see. Psychological and social development continues during young adulthood. This is from the age of 18 to 40 years old. There is a little physical growth. Adult height has already been reached. Body stem and body system are fully developed. Development tasks of young adulthood include the following: choosing further discussion and a career, selecting a partner, learning to live with a partner, becoming a parent or raising a children, developing satisfactory sex life. Education and occupation are so closely related. Ano gagawin natin dito? So tired. I am so tired. Maybe we can sing a song. Alright. Try nga natin. Kanta muna tayo ng... Kanta nga tayo. Pagod si Akits. Kanta muna tayo guys and then paano ba ito kantahin? Wala ba sa katulugon? You are the one who makes me happy when everything else turns to gray. Yours is the voice that wakes my mornings and sends me out into the day. You are the crowd that sits quiet, listening to me and all the sentences that I make. You are one of the few things worth remembering. And since it's all true, how could anyone mean more to me than you? Sorry, sometimes I'll let past you. There's no one beyond your eyes. Inside my head of wheels, but to live is sometimes I'm not so wise. You are my heart and my soul, my inspiration, just like the old love song goes. You are one of the few things worth remembering. And since it's so true, how could anyone mean more to me than you? Last song, and then go back to study. do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled on dust in your hair of golden starlight in your eyes of blue. That is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they want to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair of golden starlight in your eyes of blue. That is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Just like me, they long to be close to you.
ASAP Tickets, end of season flight.
Hanap tayo ng isa pa, and then study tayo balik. Hmm. There's a kind of rush all over the world tonight. All over the world, you can hear the sound. Lovers in love. Nobody else, nobody else inside. There's nobody else, and I really so many times. So listen very carefully. Get closer now, and you will see what it is in a dream. The only sound that you will hear is when I am whispering your ear. Forever and ever, there's a kind of rush all over the world tonight. All over the world, just like us forever. Ay, last na. Sige na lang ako last. Ay, dali. Day after day, I must face a world of strangers we don't belong. I'm not that strong. It's nice to know that there's someone I can turn to who will always there, will always there. When there's no getting over that rainbow, when my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. So many times when the city seems to be without a friendly face, a lonely place. It's nice to know that you'll be there if I need you, and you're always there. It's wonderful when there's no getting over that rainbow. When my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. Touch me and I end up singing. Trouble seems to have been disappearing. You touch me with the love you're burning. I can't really lose when you're near. When you're near, my love is all my friend. I've forgotten half their promises. They're not unkind, just hard to find. One look at you, and I know that I could learn to live without a rest. I find the best when there's no getting over that rainbow. When my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. When there's no getting over that rainbow, when my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you, without you. All right. Sige, last. Last na lang, Jones. Sige na lang ko last. That's okay. Nakapagod kasi mag-eskwela. Kanta sa ta. Aleha. Anak ta upo. Anong puso-puso. I never dreamed, 'cause I always thought the dreaming was for kids, just a childless thing. And I could swear love is just a game that children play, and no more game than a game. Till I met you, I never knew what love was. Till I met you, this feeling seems to grow more every day. I believe in every word when you say I love you away. Now I could swear love is not a game that children play. So tell me that you'll stay till I met you. I never knew what love was till I met you. This feeling seems to grow more every day. I love you more each day. You and I should be together. Can't you see? Can't you see? Till I met you, I never knew what love was till I met you. This feeling seems to grow every day. I love you each day. Till I met you. Till I met you. Ay, naku. Ay, sayang.
Ransomware attacks are changing to human-driven, highly targeted attacks. Signature-based safeguards are blind to these sophisticated.
Ano sa da? Diredo tabi. Ano yung kusugan? Ando sa tapay ito po ito. tama na. Balik na, eskwela. Magbasa na, magbasa. Ay, hello sis, kaganda. Nag-study ako tapos nabagot. Ayan, kanta-kanta ng konti. Tapos balik aral. Basa ulit. Thank you for coming sis, thank you. Ay, nako, kanta-kanta lang ng konti. We could have it. Okay. Dito na tayo, middle adulthood. Hindi pa pala. Middle adulthood na tayo. Middle adulthood, 40 to 65 years old. For some adult, middle adulthood is stable and comfortable stage of development and time. Salamat sis sa pag-BG. Salamat. Some adult, middle adulthood is a stable and comfortable stage of development time when children have grown up and moved away from parents and able to spend time alone with each other. Enjoy financial security and have fewer worries about children. However, some adults in this stage have to deal with divorce, ailing parents, children moving back home or not moving out, all caring for grandchildren and developmental tasks of middle adulthood include the following: adjusting to physical changes, having grown up children, developing leisure activities relating to aging parents. Or the physical changes that occur in the appearance of are gradual and go unnoticed, whereas some other become obvious earlier in the stage. Perhaps in the early 40s, may feel energetic and able to function as they did in their 20s. However, energy and endurance begin to decrease. People in this age group can develop any number of diseases. Okay, sandali ha. I have to give instruction to my little girl. All right. Sayang ngayon lang tayo nagkatagpo. Right? Try na nato ang ilaw niya. Much better. Okay. Dili mo ang ibubay. Ayan pala. Okay. So, the physical challenge changes, of course, in this period, several are gradual and go unnoticed, whereas some other become obvious early in the stage. People in their early 40s may feel energetic and able to function as they did in their 20s. However, energy and endurance begin to decrease. People in this age can develop any number of disease and illness, which may be chronic or self-threatening. Weight control becomes a problem in metabolism and physical activity slow down. Facial wrinkles and gray hair appear, yes, can also naturally occur in people in their 20s. They need for eyeglasses in common at this stage, and there may be hearing loss or deterioration in women. Menstruation stops between the age of 42 and 55 as menopause sets in. The ovaries stop producing eggs and secreting hormones, meaning the woman can no longer become pregnant. Children leave home to pursue higher education, marry, move to homes of their own, and start their own families. Middle-aged adults have to cope with letting children go. Yeah. Being in-laws and becoming grandparents, parents must let their adult children lead their own lives, while others remaining available to their children for emotional support in times of need. Middle-aged adults often discover that they have a lot more spare time once the demands of parenthood that have decreased significantly. Hobbies and leisure activities like gardening, fishing, painting, golfing, volunteer work, and membership in club and organization are sources of pleasure. This activity become even more important after retiring and during their late adulthood. Some middle-aged adult have parents who are very old and experiencing poor health. They take on the responsibility for their parents' care and often have to deal with the death of parents. Yes. Malapit ko na matapos. Certain physical changes are a normal part of aging that occur in everyone in late adulthood. The rate and the degree of changes vary in each person. Some of these changes are a result of lifestyle choices, including diet, general health, exercise, stress, environment, and hereditary. Normal aging does not mean loss of health, so quality of life does not have to change with aging. The developmental tasks of this stage are as follows: adjusting to decreased physical strength and loss of health, adjusting to retirement and reduced income, coping with the death of one's partner, developing new friends and relationship, preparing for one's own death. Yes. Okay. For the detailed discussion of the mm, numerous physical, psychological, and social changes that occurs during the late adulthood, as well as the specific care that other adults need. Okay, dito tayo sa key points. And then we'll go to the test. Ay, test na kaagad. Growth and development are outgoing from the moment of fertilization until death. Yes, this is growth. Growth and development. Okay. They occur in a sequence, order, and pattern. Certain development tasks must be completed during each stage, and no stage can be skipped as each stage lays the foundation for the next stage. Infant stage Infant stage from birth to 1 year old. Rapid physical, psychological, and social growth and development, of course. Birth weight usually double at the age of 5 to 6 months and triple by the first birthday. Newborns have certain reflexes, the moral, rooting, sucking, and grasping, that are present in the birth and disappear at the central nervous system. As the central system develops, developmental tasks that intimacy, infancy are learning to walk, talk, and communicate with others. Toddlers from 1 to 3, physical growth during the second year of life is not as rapid as during intimacy. Developmental tasks for toddlers are tolerating separation from the primary caregivers, gaining control of bowel, bladder, bladder functions, using words to communicate with others, and becoming less dependent on the primary caregivers. Preschool, 3 to 6 years old, children grow taller but gain little weight. They are more coordinated than toddlers. Developmental tasks for toddlers are improving the ability to communicate with and understand others, performing self-care activities, learning about the differences between the genders and identifying with the gender, distinguishing right from wrong, learning to play with others, and developing family relationship. Middle adulthood from 6 to 8. Children usually grow 5 centimeters each year during this stage. Weight gain weight gain will vary depending on such factors as level of activity. Developmental tasks include acquiring the social and physical skills needed for physical gains, consequence, and morals, a good feeling and attitude about self, the ability to get along with other children, behaviors and attitudes, more normative to other genders, basic reading, writing, and architect skills. Late adulthood, this is 9 to 12. Boys grow about 2 centimeter and gain 1.8 weight per year. Girls grow 5 centimeter and gain 2.3 kilogram weight per year. Body changes begin to occur. Developmental tasks are developing moral and ethical behavior, developing and keeping friendship, becoming independent of adult and learning to depend on oneself, understanding the physical, psychological, and social rules of one's identified gender, learning how to study, and developing greater muscular strength, coordination, and balance. Adolescents from 12 to 18 years, rapid growth and psychological and social maturing occurs. Boys grow about 10 to 41 centimeter and gain 7 to 723 kilograms in weight. Girls grow about 5 to 23 centimeters and gain 7 to 23 kilograms. Developmental tasks are accepting changes in other body appearance, developing a relationship with others of the same age, accepting the rule normative for one's age and identified gender, becoming independent from parents and adults, and developing moral attitudes and value needed for the function of society. Young adulthood, 18 to 40 years old. Adult height has been reached and body system are fully developed. Developmental tasks include choosing further education and career, selecting a partner, becoming a parent, and raising a child, and developing satisfactory sex life. Individual will make choices developing on their goals. Middle adulthood, 40 to 65 years old. Of the physical changes that occurs, some are gradual and go unnoticed at first, whereas others may be more obvious. For example, gray hair, wrinkles, and decrease of energy. Developmental tasks include adjustment of physical changes, having non-grown up children, developing leisure activities, and relating to aging parenting. Late adulthood, this is 40 This is 65-year-old, 65 and older. I have here Fulas Canada Adventure Tamsakdan. Thank you so much. Work mode pa muna, madam. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming, Fulas Canada Adventure. Salamat sa pagpunta. Nag-study ako. Saan ka banda sa Canada, Fulas? If you don't mind me asking. Nandito ako sa Toronto eh. My butters and steels. Thank you for coming. Late adulthood. 65 years and older, developing mental tasks are adjusting and decreased physical strength and loss of health, adjusting to retirement and reduced income, coping with the death of one's partner, developing new friends and relationship, and preparing. Ayay, nakalimot. Nakalimot ko. Sorry, good. Ay, tama, no? Sorry, good. Wala ko'y work kay kuan. Wala mi work karon. Nag-school ko. Tapos nag-study ko. Tomorrow morning na ako'y trabaho. Wala ko may trabaho niyang gabi. Thank you for coming. Nakalimot ko. Sorry, good. Silingan ramanday ni oy. Naraday sa kilid. Oo, nakakita ko sa inyong picture. Sa atong apo. Tilapin na lang gud oy. Kay para kuan. Kita ko sa inyong ilang mga picture, nagugos-gugos daw sila dito, wala oy. O bisita pa ko puhon para makakugos po daw niya, makapicture po. Ay, nako. Unsay lingaw din ha. Nag-eskwela kunuhay ko, tapos nag-study kunuhay ko. Nya habang nag-study, wala may buhaton, mag-live na lang ko kay para na ako'y activity. So, making use of my time. Atong apo, check. Ato ang angkunon kay para daghat ta. Dili kay akura, dili kay kamera. La ato jong angkunon. Lingaw kaayo og naatay ako. Thank you kayo sa pag-ari sa ako ang anindot nga balay. Critical thinking in practice, you are caring for a 2-year-old boy. You take the child to another room to weigh him. The child's mother stays in his room. Okay, busy pa ko. Sige lang. Salamat kaayo. Sige lang. Salamat. You are caring for a 2-year-old boy. You take the child to another room to weigh him. The child's mother stays in his room with her infant. You ask the child to stand on the scale. He says no. You reach for him to place him on the scale. He cries and runs from you. Is this response normal? What could you have done to avoid this? Yeah. Normal ni siya nga response sa bata, but hindi sana siya tatakbo if you can avoid this if you did not reach for him. You have to ask him to stand. Okay. Changes in psychological and function. Okay, ito na question. Encircle the best answer. Ano na po dito? Bangin ko yung answer. Answer time. Test time. Changes in psychological and social functioning are cool. Development. which is true about growth and development. They occur from the complex to simple. They do not occur in orderly pattern. They occur at specific rate. It is common for people to skip ranges. Huh? They occur from complex to simple, Mm, which is true. Okay, let's go for C. The stage of infancy. Infancy. 4 weeks of life, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year of life. Infant. Okay, 1 year of life. Which reflexes in the infant are needed for feeding? Feeding. Okay, modo, kaning modo, kato na siya mabuhatan. Ang bunting, kato na siya. And sucking reflexes, mo na siya kato kaya natin anak dire touch niya. Tapos, grasping and rooting and grasping. Okay, letter B. Solid foods are usually given to infant during the 5th month to 7th month, 8th month, 9th month, 11th, 8th. The toddler can use a spoon and a cup. Toddler. Mhm. Mm. Ride a bike, help set up the table, name parts of the body. Toddler. Toddler. Use a small spoon and a cup. Thank you, Kaganda. Kaganda 21 vlog. Thank you for staying. Playing with the other child begins during the playing with the other child. Infancy, toddler, preschool. Toddler, they can preschool. Peer group activities become more important at the age of sila. Peer group. Let's go to 7 to 9. Reproductive organ begins to function and the secondary sex characteristic appear during pre-adolescence. Which of the following is true? Boys reach puberty earlier than girls. Most girls reach puberty between the ages of 10 to 14. Menopause marks the onset of puberty. Growth sprout occurs during the toddler stage. Go for B. Dating usually begins during the late childhood. Late childhood? With crowd with during late adolescence. Oh, sorry. Oh, my. Oh. Mag-Zoom meeting pa man di ko sa kani. Lounge. Oh, unsa daw? Lounge. Meeting. Join with video. Okay, sorry. Meeting.
Hi, Len.
Hi. Sorry.
I couldn't communicate.
Nakalimot ko sa ako ang ano, sorry.
It's
Nag-study
okay.
kasi. Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, I want you to meet a friend of mine. She will be the one who will present this orientation. Her name is Leah May. Is it okay if you just show up your face?
Oh, you cannot
Hi,
see me?
Belen.
Hi. I'm sorry.
Kamusta? Bukiti mo
Sandali
kagwapa
lang,
ba?
ha?
Kagwapa niyo.
Naka-go live kasi ako sa aking YouTube channel. That's why you cannot see me. Okay, a moment. I will just turn off this live.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we have to say bye-bye for now, and I will end up this live stream. See you again next time. See you guys. Thank you for coming to my live stream. Bye.
Kasi mag-live stream.